Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day today. We're looking at some Civ mods today, and these are going to be my top picks for mods in Civ 5 that I wished would get ported over or remade someday in Civilization 6. All in all, I like Civ 6 a little better than Civ 5, although they're both very good games. But Civilization 5 has had some mods that are just really, really incredible, and I hope that at some point Civ 6 can kind of see the same thing happen to it. So let's jump right into it. The first mod we're going to talk about is the Civ 4 Diplomatic Features mod. If you've played Civ 4, most of these features that it adds, you should be familiar with. I missed a lot of the Civ 4 features when they came out with Civ 5, and it made me a little bit sad, so I was really glad to see this mod come out, especially for things like map trading and vassal states. Those are things that I really kind of missed from Civ 4, and now I have them back, so hopefully Civ 6 will see the same thing someday. Next up, we have the Enlightenment era. Now, I'm a little weird. I don't like when people mess with my tech tree and change things, but I am a fan of when they add whole new eras to the game. So this is a mod that adds the Enlightenment era, which is somewhere around the Renaissance or Industrial era, and it just adds a whole new era with new technologies and expands the game a little bit. And you'll see I have a couple of these tech mods throughout here, and they all kind of work together, and that's why I like them. They make the tech tree bigger, the games last a little longer, and are more diverse, and hopefully Civ 6 gets a little of that at some point. Next mod we're going to talk about is the Fantasy Army. This isn't a mod I use all the time, but if I'm looking for kind of a more fantasy spin on Civ where I want to fight with dragons and wizards and paladins, it allows me to do that while still using the same kind of Civ 5 mechanics. I've always liked having this mod available in case I want to do something like that, and I haven't seen anything like this in Civ 6, so I really hope it gets built someday. Next up, we have Future Worlds. This is the second of my technology mods. This adds an era at the very end of the tech tree, after the information era, and it moves back to the science victory, so you aren't going to miss these technologies. It's not like you're going to win before you get to them. But it adds a lot of very futuristic technologies that I think are really interesting and just add kind of a new element to the game. So that's why I like to use it. Next up is Heroes of Might and Wisdom. This mod I found a long time ago, and I really like it. It adds hero units to the game right at the beginning, and they have special abilities. They're named after important figures in history. They level up and can get gear and abilities, and it's really cool. It gives me something to do early game. It's like a mini game I can play while I'm waiting for my empire to build up and become a little more robust. So it's like a little game within a game, and I really like it. Although it does get a little chaotic as the game goes on, and you have a bunch of heroes casting spells back and forth at one another, but all in all, this adds a lot to the beginning of the game that I really like, so it's a mod I hope to see someday in Civ 6. Next up on our list is Ocean Cities. This is a pretty self-explanatory mod. It's something I wish that Firaxis had thought about a little more and adding into some of their games. Obviously, cities on the ocean aren't something we actually have, but from a futuristic standpoint, I really like them. They did address it and do something with it in Civilization Beyond Earth, so I guess I should give them that credit. But this is a really cool mod, especially later in the game in the modern era where a lot of the land is already taken. It allows you to build some more cities on the ocean and kind of come at things from a different angle than you normally be able to. The last mod we're going to talk about is Prehistoric Era, and again, this is my third tech mod, and it adds an entire piece of the tech tree before the Ancient Era. So again, it's adding more to the game, it's making it a bit more interesting, and with the other two tech mods together, it's something I really enjoy doing. That's all I'm going to talk about for the mods. There is one more mod here, but it's just the one that makes the tech mods compatible with each other. So that's it for mods. I'm going to jump into a game now and just kind of give a quick preview of some of these mods I was talking about. So it turns out some of these mods aren't compatible with each other anymore, so I've separated this into two separate games. We're going to look at one set of mods first, and then we'll look at some of the other mods afterwards. So the first thing you're going to notice right away is my second city here is on the coast. So this is the Ocean Cities mod here. You can see it's obviously settled on an ocean tile. I could have built it farther out, but I wanted to just get this game up and running and show you guys what it did. This becomes unlocked in the modern era, and that's where this game started off, is in the modern era. So these look pretty cool, and obviously I can build most of the same buildings in them that I could build on a coastal city. So that's the Ocean Cities mod. The next mod I'll show you is the tech mods that I was talking about. So if we jump over here into the tech tree and start at the beginning, you can see that these are not the normal ancient era mods. We have complex tools, simple tools, fire, rituals. This is the prehistoric era mod that I was telling you about. It leads into the ancient era just like normal Civ does. It does change a couple of things. You can see that things have kind of moved around here a little bit in the ancient era. But by the time we get into the classical era, things are pretty much back to normal. We keep on keeping on for a little bit. And then you'll see after the Renaissance era, we hit the Enlightenment era, which you can see there's some technologies in this area that are not the same as what's normally around. Same with into the Industrial era. It's a little bit different than what you're used to. And then after a while, it kind of picks back up, goes back into a normal Civ 5 game. And then we start to get into the information era and the future era, and you can see there's a whole bunch of futuristic mods here that aren't normally in the game. And then you can see over here is where the actual rocket ship parts are. So we would have to use all of these mods, all of these techs, in order to get to the end game. So that's our technology mods, and that's our Ocean Cities mod. I can't really show off the Civ 4 diplomatic features right now because I haven't met anybody. I just started this game. But I don't really think I have to show it off. I think it's pretty self-explanatory if you've played Civ 4. If you haven't played Civ 4, give the mod a try, and you'll be able to get familiar with all those features pretty easily. Alright, so we're in Game 2 here. This mod was started from the prehistoric era. So the first mod we were going to showcase was the Heroes of Might and Wisdom. I already grabbed my first hero here. You can see he's got some special skills and spells. He has a different type of leveling system that gives him different abilities than what you normally expect. He has equipment slots for gear, which we can find or actually buy with gold to level him up and make him stronger. And we can upgrade him into different types of units, so he's not stuck as a bowman the entire game. He's actually going to be able to be upgraded for gold into different types of units. And this, like I said, makes the other game a lot more enjoyable than what you may normally be used to. The other mod we didn't showcase in the first game was the Fantasy Army mod. So you'll see throughout the tech tree here, we have some new units. The Apothecary, a mid-game cleric class unit that specializes in healing. An Assassin is a special recon unit. We have the Ouroboros, which is the first dragon unit. We have a wizard up here. We have an Apothecary's Hall. So there's some buildings as well as units. We have the OG Cleric, the Necromancers or Illusionists. So we have a lot of kind of new fantasy-themed units and buildings to play with to make the game a bit more interesting. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more of this type of thing, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.